Oh my Nelly, that's so dramatic. Wait, why are my trousers wet? Oh, excuse me. I think I just set some truth free.
Well, hello and thank you for tuning in to Truth TV News. I'm Vincent Rhodes, your host.
Well, thank you, Vincent. You're being tuned into by Sir Sick, your critic. What oh what am I going to be critiquing today?
And I wanted to talk to you today about how NASA and space exploration are motivated by the spirit of the Antichrist.
Oh, never mind. I think I left my oven on or anything like that will get me out of doing this. Get off. Fine. I'll do the stupid video. But I'll be crying inside the whole time. I hope you're all happy with yourselves.
Actually, there's a satanic hidden agenda of NASA and the truth of the flat earth.
Why is it that folks like your good self seem to make the devil sound like a reasonable, kind, good guy who's into facts and people and stuff? Because I know Saty Boy, and well, most of the time he's just drunk. I know that because I'm the one who gets him that way so I can touch his stuff.
The ball earth is a satanic lie.
Look, I told you, the guy can barely hold his liquor. I mean, blackout drunk after only 4-litre bottles of bourbon. It's like he's not even trying. No wonder I nicked his PS4.
Which is the foundation for the Big Bang Theory, evolution, atheism, the New World Order, and alien deception.
Okay, that is a lot to break down there. So let's go about it one at a time.
The Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory could still work if the Earth was flat. It wouldn't help much to explain why it was flat. You know, nothing does. But you already got the lazy theist cop-out of God did it. So it doesn't matter that everything else in the universe points a completely different way, unless you are saying God couldn't have started the universe using the Big Bang and then created the Earth separately in a different way. I thought it was all powerful, innit?
Evolution.
Now, the same point applies again, but even more so, as basically nothing about the shape of the Earth requires natural selection to be at play for it to be the way it is. And the way any planets are formed has no impact on evolution as far as I'm aware, unless you want to count things like adding energy to a closed system, aka the sun and its position, but I don't. Evolution requires only variation in creatures and selection forcing, a la the things best suited to a task will become better suited to the task over time. The shape of the Earth has no effect on that if it works the way you say it does.
Atheism.
Really? Do I even need to address that one? If the Earth is flat, why should that mean that there's a God? Especially in your, actually the universe wasn't made the way they say, cough, model. If you are right about the shape of the Earth, what if flat Earth scientists discover how the Earth was naturally formed like that? Oh noes, no need for a God again. Better find a new way of explaining how God is totally real and necessary, guys.
The New World Order.
Really? There could be no New World Order if we knew the world was flat. How does that even work?
And alien deception.
Those sneaky flipping aliens coming in here, stealing and subsequently probing our credulous rednecks. But you're right on this one, I think. Depends on what you mean by alien deception, really, and whether or not I'm just taking the Michael. We will never know.
What I want to talk to you about, however, is how NASA and space exploration are motivated out of the spirit of the Antichrist.
Oh no! What a git! Trying to get human beings off this inevitably doomed rock. And he's supposed to be the bad guy, right? Who's the one who made up dinosaurs just to test us? What a butthole.
But before I get started, let me explain to you what the Antichrist is.
He's drunk. We've already established this.
The Antichrist is a spirit that is in the world that rejects the revelation of God about our future as human beings.
Ah, that makes it sound like something from one of those feel-good books or movies. And then little Bobby found out that the Antichrist was in him all along. Brings a tear to your eyes, man.
According to God.
And if the Bible is to be taken seriously, the world's first unreliable narrator. That's a little Storycraft joke for my writing peeps. Represent!
Our future as human beings is in his hands, and we have been given a chance to have eternity with him
Ugh, no, not that guy. Have you heard him? He's so neurotic. He lies, is constantly demanding that everybody tell him how good he is, and how even all the terrible stuff he's done makes him more of a good guy? Just no! I would rather spend eternity with myself, and I am just the worst person to get stuck in one place with for a long time. I'm stupid, I tell unfunny jokes, I have this weird smell that gets stuck in the back of your throat. Still not as bad as God though. God, no.
And to also share in his kingdom here on earth.
Share? It's not even his. I told you, he's always making crap up. No, Earth's real owner is a spacefaring journalist named Byro, who secretly renamed Earth Carlos. The more you know, I guess.
If we would repent and turn to his son as the only propitiation for our sin. The only way of us being saved from our sin.
Ah, good old nebulous sin. And of course we have original sin too, for something someone else did, so you can't escape it. You can't just be a good person and do good things. No, you also have to ascribe to my difficult to believe BS. Or maybe someone else's, because you know, they're right depending on who you ask. But if you don't pick the right one, you could suffer forever, so make sure you're correct.
However, it is the goal of NASA and most space exploration programs to escape this narrative about God's love that has been laid out in the Bible.
That really doesn't sound right. Let's go have a look at their website, shall we? Oh, you're good. He is right. Look at that. Well, never doubt you again, friend. Right, back to porn.
And to replace it with an alternative to our future.
Oh no, one where we strive to frolic amongst the stars, expanding the scope of humanity instead of fighting over rocks and goop on an insignificant damp dirt ball. Sounds horrific.
In God's future, man is saved through Jesus Christ.
What does that even mean? Really? And make sure your interpretation is the correct one too, because you know how pissy he gets when people try to speak on his behalf. His wife Brenda did that one time and oh my him. He would not stop pouting the entire night. Completely ruined Scrabble.
In NASA's future, man is saved through technology, scientific discoveries, and space exploration.
And that's bad because ... I mean, is it because they're real? Tangible? Interesting? Come on, tell me.
In Friedrich Nietzsche's book called The Antichrist, Friedrich Nietzsche praised the Greek philosophers for the development of science.
Ah, Nietzsche. The worst of all Monopoly chance cards.
You are Nietzsche. Your entire philosophy was espoused by the Nazis and cynically manipulated to suit their own diabolical ends. Miss a go. Never had that one before.
Science that was developed out of pure rationalism and mathematics, which was the devoid of God.
Sounds so bad. I mean, if you don't have God, how will you know not to put all the science in your bum? No, I need to make sure everything I do is being watched and judged by someone. That's why I became a YouTuber. In fact, I literally don't exist outside these videos. Please don't stop watching. Non-existence. It's so cold. And weirdly damp.
Also was a rejection of the lordship of Jesus Christ.
The sciences made by the Greeks was a rejection of Jesus Christ. Now, I don't know if you know this, but they were kind of doing a science a couple of years before he supposedly existed. You know, just 500 or so.
According to Nietzsche, the progress of science by the Greeks was a great achievement because the Greeks developed a science.
Just one, is there? Ugh, and I thought there were multiple sciences. Shows what I know. Yeah, I'm being facetious, but I don't care. He needs to learn how to do a talking and maybe a better editing.
And their hope was in the future and not in the afterlife.
Yeah, I just don't get the problem. I mean, even the religious should be looking into the future to improve humanity's lot. I think any god worth paying attention to would be proud of mankind's achievements. I mean, sure, they've done some messed up stuff, but they also invented whiskey. The most obvious thing for me to say, but it's still true, so shut up.
Of science, the philosopher Nietzsche, who believed that God was dead.
No, he didn't. Now, I'm not the best philosopher miser in the land, but my understanding of the God is dead quote is that we had come far enough as a species to no longer need to hold on to these ideas, and would in fact need to let them go to reach our full potential. It's not literal FFS, it's philosophy, you dolt.
Stated for the scientific community, they actually see turning towards the world of alchemy and the occult as real science.
Okay, I have no idea if that's true, and I have no interest in spending the next few hours of my life looking it up, because that's absolutely irrelevant. Alchemy and occult things are not part of science, because what's science, boys and girls? A tool for finding out empirical facts. Sure, they might have been tested with the scientific method at some point, but they were quickly shown not to produce repeatable, useful results. And anyone who has ever said that they are real science is just wrong.
Now, this may sound strange to you, but there is a dark energy that surrounds the topic of the flat earth.
Let's test this, shall we? I summon forth the powers of flat earth! Well, would you look at that?
It also is what I believe is the spirit of the Antichrist. Often, one of the best ways to determine that what we have said as flat earthers is true is to hear the unrational responses and comments that come from trolls.
So you know you're right because someone is making fun of you and not really engaging. You're not going to listen to people with strong, reasonable arguments, but the people just there to screw with you. How very rational of you.
One of the best ways to determine that you've struck a nerve is to speak the truth.
Or you could say something so stupid that it actually makes people viscerally angry because, seriously, how can a grown adult who dresses themselves and everything believe this crap? I feel like you've heard that a few times before.
And oftentimes, the flat earth seems to strike many nerves among many trolls on the internet.
You don't strike nerves with trolls. Trolls don't care and are happy to mess with you for the lols, even if you actually believe the same thing as them. It's not about truth, it's about being annoying. Now, if you're saying anyone that disagrees with you is a troll, well then everyone bar a small percentage of the planet are trolls then. Kinda makes the word meaningless, doesn't it?
The trolls are very dark.
Hey, that is racist.
Their energy that surrounds them is dark. Their comments are dark. Anyone who has been paying any attention would notice it. Obviously notice that the dark energy that surrounds the flat earth topic is greater than any other topic on the internet.
Well, of course, no other topic is more divisive. Well, apart from climate change, 9/11 conspiracies, politics in general, especially in America, but certainly not exclusive to it. I feel like you might be a bit close to this subject, that you aren't seeing that, in fact, even a lot of the other proponents of silly ideas think that the flat earth is absurd. And the only reason people like me talk about your ideas is they're generally so funny and supported by foundations made of tissue paper and spit.
While other videos have had their share of negative comments, the flat earth videos seem to get more of a disproportionate number of negative remarks. The name calling, the belittling, the nasty comments obviously are not the way most civilized people act in a normal situation.
Being in the presence of flat earthers is not normal. Flat earthers are not normal, and the sheer volume of vitriol that spouts from your average flatard just makes them fair game for most people to rip into, because they won't listen, and when presented with all the evidence in the world will stick their fingers in their ears and sing la 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 all the way home. A bit like me when I go to see my doctor. My liver is fine, pee is supposed to be that colour, la 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 la. Do you want pretty okay clothes at fairly alright prices? Then head on over to Sir Six Merch Store. There you can buy sick brand merch, and not a lot else. Who needs food, water, or accommodation when you can have a hoodie with my face on it? No one, that's who. I can't even afford them because I have a home, like a moron. So get on over today before these printed to order clothes run out somehow. And you're gonna need a lot of them when you're sleeping outside on the ground with your family like that. It's cold out there. I do envy you.